What if I told you that Europe's strongest economy is now its weakest link? That the country once hailed as the industrial heart of Europe is now the only EU nation trapped in recession for 2 years straight. Welcome to Germany, where the economic miracle has hit a wall. In 2024 alone, more businesses in Germany shut down than during the 2008 global financial crisis. That's over 200,000 corporate closures in a single year. And it's not just a blip. This is a system-wide stall. High energy prices driven by the loss of cheap Russian gas have crippled factories. Red tape and bloated bureaucracy are strangling innovation. A crippling labor shortage is setting in as the population ages faster than anywhere else in Western Europe. The government's own experts have admitted there is little to no chance of a rapid recovery. In fact, Germany's expected growth in 2025 is a flat 0%, the worst in the entire European Union. So, has the German economic engine just sputtered? Or is it on the verge of a historic reboot? Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's find out whether Germany can still turn the tide or if the miracle is truly over. For decades, Germany had a winning formula: cheap Russian gas to power its factories and world-class engineering to build machines, cars, the chemicals the world couldn't get enough of. That model made Germany the export champion of Europe, earning billions every single year and keeping unemployment very low. But in 2022, that entire system began to fall apart.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine cut off Germany's access to cheap gas almost overnight. Energy prices tripled, hitting industries like steel, glass, and chemicals the hardest. Some factories shut down entirely because they couldn't afford to keep the lights on. At the same time, the world changed. Global competition heated up. China started making better products, and faster. Then came Donald Trump's return to power, bringing back tariffs and threatening Germany's exports once again. For an economy that relies on selling cars and machinery abroad, this was a major blow. But the problems go deeper. Germany's population is aging. Nearly 1 in 4 Germans is over 65. There aren't enough skilled workers and too few young people to replace them. Many prefer part-time jobs or early retirement, leaving critical industries short-staffed. Add to this a bureaucratic maze that slows down business permits and investment. And you get what experts are now calling a structural crisis, not just a temporary slowdown.
Germany's old model is broken. The question now is, can it build a new perspective one before it's too late? Share your personal thoughts in the comments below. Germany's new Chancellor Friedrich Merz isn't playing it safe. In a bold move, he's launching a 500 billion euro spending spree, the largest economic push since reunification in the 1990s.
His goal? To yank Germany out of stagnation and bring back growth. This massive plan covers everything: rebuilding crumbling infrastructure, expanding rail networks, cutting corporate taxes, boosting childcare, and even transforming Germany's military into Europe's strongest. For comparison, that's more than what Germany spent on reunifying East and West in the 1990s, and more than double the size of the EU's post-COVID recovery fund for all 27 countries. The government claims this could boost Germany's annual GDP by 400 billion by 2030, raising growth by 1.6% per year. But there's a catch. Most of the money is being borrowed, which means Germany will no longer meet the EU's strict debt targets. And economists warn, if the funds are wasted on election promises, like restaurant tax cuts or diesel subsidies, rather than smart investments in technology and infrastructure, the gamble could backfire.
This is not just spending, it's a race against time. If Merz gets it right, he could reboot the German economy for a new era. If not, he risks pushing Europe's biggest economy deeper into trouble. Germany's bold spending plan has sparked headlines, but experts are urging caution.
The OECD has revised its 2025 growth projection for Germany to just 0.4%, warning that this modest recovery may not last without deep reforms. The Institute for Economic Research agrees, stating that long-term competitiveness depends on structural change, not just cash injections. Deutsche Bank economists have highlighted that if Germany focuses too heavily on short-term consumption measures, like temporary tax relief or subsidies, the expected economic boost could shrink by half. In their view, the real danger is political compromise diluting the plan's impact. Another red flag: Germany's approval procedures rank among the slowest in the EU, delaying investment in everything from housing to green energy. Meanwhile, the workforce continues to shrink. In 2025, for the first time, the number of retirees will outnumber those entering the labor force, a trend that threatens future productivity. The government wants to spend quickly, but experts say rushing without strategy could raise inflation or miss long-term goals.
As enthusiasm builds, so do the risks. This isn't just a moment of opportunity. It's a critical test of Germany's political will, efficiency, and vision for the future. Germany's new Chancellor Friedrich Merz doesn't just face an economic crisis, he faces a political countdown.
With 5 regional elections coming up over the next year, including key contests in eastern states where the far-right AfD is gaining ground, Merz has only months to show real progress. His coalition government, a fragile partnership between conservatives and center-left parties, is pushing to pass 60 major legislative initiatives by August. These include sweeping corporate tax cuts, reforms to streamline housing permits, new military procurement rules, and big labor market changes to encourage more full-time and post-retirement work. But political risks are everywhere. The ruling coalition has only a narrow majority, and internal rifts are growing, especially around controversial topics like welfare reform, defense spending, and migration policy. Even within his own party, Merz is facing pressure not to alienate voters with painful reforms. Meanwhile, frustration is building on the streets. Many Germans are skeptical of large-scale borrowing, especially after years of fiscal conservatism. And if the reforms don't produce visible change like better roads, lower energy prices, more jobs, Merz's approval ratings could sink fast.
It's a race against time, not just to fix the economy, but to stop Germany's political center from collapsing. As one advisor put it, this is Merz's make-or-break moment. If the reboot fails, the AfD won't just gain votes, it could reshape Germany's political future. After 2 years of stagnation, signs of life are finally emerging in Germany's economy. Forecasts from the Kiel Institute and Institute for Economic Research now predict modest but positive growth, up to 1.6% by 2026. It's not explosive, of course, but it's a shift in the right direction.
Germany's stock market is also flashing green. The DAX index has surged in 2025, outperforming most global benchmarks and signaling renewed investor confidence. Behind this optimism is more than just stimulus. There's belief that Germany can still compete if it adapts. Unlike many other G7 nations, Germany still enjoys a relatively low debt-to-GDP ratio, giving it more room to invest without setting off alarm bells in Brussels. That breathing space could be crucial in financing innovation, upgrading infrastructure, and making its industries more energy efficient.
Analysts warn, however, that the outcome depends on how the money is spent. If it goes into research, digitalization and high-tech sectors, Germany may rank its edge. If not, this comeback could be short-lived. Germany still has everything it needs to thrive, one of the most skilled workforces, industrial giants like Siemens and Bosch, and a reputation for precision. It has financial strengths and rising global interest. But in 2025, that's no longer enough. The economy is changing fast. Innovation races ahead, demographics shift. Competitors from the US and China to Eastern Europe are faster, leaner, and more digital. If Germany fails to adapt, experts warn it could follow Japan's path, a wealthy, advanced nation stuck in long-term stagnation. That's the danger now. Europe's largest economy quietly drifting into decline. Chancellor Merz is betting everything on reforms. But if bureaucracy stalls, politics drag, and public patience fades, the chance could slip away for good. Will Germany rise again or settle into comfortable decline? You've seen the facts, you've heard the warnings, now it's your turn to decide. Like, subscribe, let us know in the comments. Is German comeback real or just a dream? Catch you in the next one.